And now the next film was a film called Zamindar Gar Ammai. For this was produced by Mr. Navata Krishnamrazu of the Navata Arts. Mr. Krishnamrazu had given me an advance during the Niti Nijayati time itself, not because I was an assistant to K.V. Reddy and I became a director, not because I was working for Samskara, a film, an art film, but because he read some articles and stories written by me in a Telugu magazine called Swatantra. It was edited by Mr. Kasa Subbarao and Gora Satri. He used to read a lot of literature. He was well versed with the modern Telugu short story. All the great writers he read. And he saw this article and he immediately thought I should be the director of his first film. I don't know, it's a strange thing. And he came, sir, I read all your articles, you are my director. Subsequently, Niti Nijayati failed. And I told Mr. Krishnamrazu, see, I thought this will be a success. This has failed. So, this is your first picture. So, naturally, all distributors will be against me directing the picture. So, it will be an embarrassing situation. Please don't stand on any embarrassment. Please be frank, don't worry. I will do the next picture. You check with the distributors. If they are not well, if they are not okay with me, then go ahead with some other picture. I voluntarily told him. He looked at me, he did not tell anything. And later, it seems, I heard that he had a problem with that distributor, and they said, no, why have for a first picture a new director whose film was already flopped, why don't you have another director? To the credit of Mr. Krishnamrazu, he, instead of removing me, he removed that distributor and changed the distributor, had a new distributor, another big distributor, just to have only me as the director. That is why, though I regard and a great respect and grateful to the people who gave me my first chance, I am grateful people who gave me the education in film technology and film technique and all that, Mr. K.V. Reddy, Pingal Nagesh. I am ever grateful to Mr. Krishnamrazu because he was the person who supported me when I failed. That was much more important. So, that is how I became the director of Dikkatra Parvati, and not became the director of Zamindar Gar Ammai. Now, this Zamindar Gar Ammai is a adaptation of a Hindi film called Sheesh Mahal, directed and acted by Shohrab Modi for his own film, produced, directed, acted. It is a Minerva movie term. There is a lion, Minerva movie, it is a lion symbol, and Shohrab Modi's voice also looks like a lion. It seems they used to say, lot of blind people used to see a Shohrab Modi's film because though they could not see the film, they could hear his dialogues. That was the talk in those days. So, we had Mr. D.V. Narsarazu to write for the film. So, he was also very well known to me. So, Narsaraju started writing. Only when we were discussion, original story was only about a zamindar. So, we did not know how, there was not variety, there is a single thread, though the chances of its becoming dull was there. So, we had a zamindar's daughter, we just extended the storyline of the zamindar's daughter, and instead of calling it a zamindar story, we called it a zamindar's daughter story, which became Zamindar Gar Ammai. So, Zamindar became Zamindar Gar Ammai in our screenplay. Mr. Narsarazu was wrote, and G.K. Venkatesh was chosen as the music director. Again, Mr. Krishnamrazu's uncanny sense, he said, Mr. G.K. Venkatesh belongs to Amalapuram, our village, because not because he directed so many hit films, some sort of a sixth sense, he had a hunch that G.K. Venkatesh will be the good film. He immediately booked him. It's all intuition, Mr. Krishnamrazu. There was no reason and all that, but he had his own logic, he has his own reasoning, he has his very shrewd business angle, but still heart and intuition played a great part in Mr. Krishnamrazu's decisions. G.K. Venkatesh was music director, and his first assistant was Mr. L. Vaidyanathan. The great trio, L. Vaidyanathan, L. Suresh, L. Krishnan, they are all violinists, and Mr. L. Vaidyanathan is a genius. He is greatly talented and well versed in both Western and classical music. He was the first assistant, and the second assistant, strangely, no other than the today's greatest music director, Mr. Ilaiyaraaja. He was the second assistant when I was the director. I still remember him with a guitar, very sharp, every time trying to put in something and all that. We knew that he was very bright and he will come up, but at no time we dreamt that he will reach this big heights. That was Mr. Ilaiyaraaja's first picture with me. So, just at that time, I had to go to Sohrab Modi to discuss with him. I wanted to discuss whether any problems, anything had come, and he said, no, why can't I play your Telugu film? Of course, we could not take it, just as a joke, he said. I asked him some things about story and all that, how exactly was it was a hit film, what are the elements that was in hit, so that we do not miss those elements. All those elements he told, the main sentiment, being the dignity of that old man, that zamindar, that was the main thing, he said, because that was Sohrab Modi's film. We came here, and the casting was S.V. Rangarao to play the zamindar, Sharada his daughter, and Mr. Ranganath, my permanent hero later. So, he was the hero, a romantic angle between Ranganath and Sharada. And Raju Babu, Allu Ramalanga, it's a big comedy team. We had a wonderful track there. It became a very big hit. Then when the shooting started, we shot for about 7 days first schedule, Mr. S.V. Rangarao. Brilliant acting. Some shot in which he was supposed to play chess, and I was just, they had, I had just to have an angle just before that with chess coins in foreground, and Mr. S.V. Rangarao's face there. I put the camera like that as a chess, and he saw, very good angle. If you have put that angle, I will give the performance as per that angle. And he takes the king, some queen, and he kills the rook. For that, I got the rook, something like that. He shot the rook and it did like that. The rook came exactly like that before the camera and fell down before that. Fortunately, it did not hit the lens. He just hit like that. It came like that. It was very brilliant. I thought I should do it in a slow motion also, so it hits like that, it comes like that. Because he wants always to be a winner. He is a zamindar. So, it was a delightful thing, and 1 week was over. We had to do the schedule for the next schedule after 15 days. Within 1 week, we got the shocking news that Mr. S.V. Rangarao passed away. It was a big shock. One schedule was over, he was booked, and the whole film depended on him. He was the main actor, what to do. So, we could not do anything. We cancelled, we want to know whether we to cancel that or not. So, we were groping about. So, the only person who could replace, or we have to drop the entire thing, but so much of expenditure was already gone. We had put a set, we had blocked a set, we had put so many advances to so many people, other story, how it will fit in. Best thing is find somebody to replace Mr. S.V. Rangarao. The only person we can do is Mr. Gummadi Venkateswara Rao, another great actor. There is no doubt about it. He is the only person who must replace S.V. Rangarao. But for what it is worth, is there any difference between working with Gummadi and working with S.V. Rangarao or not? The one person whom I used to consult always was Mr. L.V. Prasadji. Though I did not work under him directly, now and then I used to come. Later also he used to call me. He used to pick me from his house, go to the Prasad office, his office, and he used to call me to the Bombay office. There Mr. Manohar Prasad, he used to come and pick me up in the car and go. We used to discuss different scripts and all that. Mr. L.V. Prasadji, I had a great rapport, though I did not work as an assistant director. I straight away became a director from Mr. K. V. Reddy School. So, I asked him, because K. V. Reddy was not, he had died, passed away even before I started Dikkata Parvati. At only Niti Nijaiti he saw, and later he passed away. So, of course, Narsarazu is a part of our team. He said, "That is wonderful, there is no other exception, you have to go to Mr. Gummadi Venkateswara Rao. But there is one thing, a characteristic of an actor," he said. Mr. S.V. Rangarao, by nature, he is a sort of a don't care like him. He doesn't care. The character of this Zamindar is, to keep up his prestige, he takes a lot of loans. He is not able to tell he doesn't have money. Oh, money, I will get it somewhere, you give a loan. He takes loans left and right. Finally, he is left and dry. He has no money. He has to sell the same house to the money lender, the man who gave the money, and go to a chowdhury which he had built. That is the tragedy of it. So, he is a Bola type, Bola Shankar. That is inbuilt character of S.V. Rangarao. But Mr. Gummadi is not that. He is a very careful man. He is not a Bola man. You cannot just deceive. He cannot just a money lender come, he will have calculation and all that. That difference in the very body language of these two people is there. So, what you have to do is, there you just ask Mr. S.V. Rangarao to do, it will always is inbuilt, that Bola nature. But with S.V. Rangarao, with Gummadi Venkateswara Rao, you have to explain to him so that he will get out from that. So, I took that as a great advice. I discussed with Mr. Gummadi, sir, this is what Mr. L.V. Prasad told me. I told Mr. Gummadi, frankly, this is what, oh, he is very good like that. It is a good thing you told me, and he developed a character. He is such a good actor that he is not very much mindful of money. His prestige is more important. Money is nothing. He can always get. That sort of a foolish look he gave. Finally, repents what he has himself done. That he did. So, finally, Mr. Gummadi Venkateswara Rao came and we had the picture over. Now, the music was a big hit in this film, because there was J.K. Venkatesh Brogindi Veena. It was written by Mr. Dasharathi, and there is another film by Mr. C. Narayan Reddy, was what is called Kondapalli Bomma. But the biggest hit was a song by Rajababu. It was Mangamma Nu Utukutu Enchantam. It is a comedy song. Actually, we were testing what sort of a thing we should have, and we were having a person called Mr. Saradi. He was a comedy actor. He was acting in a number of films, and he was a very good family friend of Mr. Krishnamuraju. So, whether he had a role or not, he used every day to come in the office. We used to chit chat. We were all new at that time. So, we cut jokes, and he used to enter the music settings. He used to use a script. He used to discuss scenes. Such freedom Saradi was having. So, we were all sitting in the music sitting, and Saradi suggested, so why can't we have some sort of Hindi tune like Hum Tum La 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 La, that Bobby tune, very famous at that time. So, he is a person who is a cinema buff, and he is looking at a girl, a Dobie woman, who is washing clothes. So, she is washing hum tum like that. It rhythm suits very well. Immediately we laughed. It was good, and we asked Mr. Kosaraju to write Mangamma Nu Utukutu Enchantam. He wrote, everything was given for tuning. It became such a super duper hit. The children used to, mostly all children, age group 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, they used to sing this song. It was more of a children's song rather than a comedy song. So, that became a very big hit. So, that is the origin for that is Mr. Saradi. So, like that, so many people contribute in a film. You cannot say, of course, the director takes the final credit, and it is all the credit of the director to allow all those talents to come in. That is the more important. So, once he has got the ego, no, nobody should tell me, only I am the ego, that he is losing for that. So, this Zamindar Gare Ammai and the talents that was pulled in, one of the examples for that. Finally, Zamindar Gare Ammai with Gummadi, Sharada and Ranganath and Allu Ramalingaya, Rajababu, it was released and they declared a hit. That was the first successful film I made. Previously, I made Dikkatra Parvati, which was a national award winner, but not a commercial success. First, Niti Nijaiti was not successful, it was a failure. and Samskara again a commercial failure, whereas it is an award winning film. This is the first film which was a commercial hit. And my friend Mr. Ganapati Rao, who came and saw the film, he told Mr. Krishnamarazu, sir, you continue to encourage my friend Mr. Singeetam Srinivasa Rao to take only such films. Don't allow him to take any Dikkatra Parvati or Samskara hereward. Let him take only such films. That is what he said. That advice he gave, because all people felt that I had to get into the mainstream, not this. That was what my intentions were, because in the mainstream try to do something different, trying to do something original, but don't leave the mainstream, because by and large all classics, they have been essentially liked by the public. Even 18th century novels and all that. You can say Shakespeare also. Shakespeare introduced so many comedy scenes, so many double meaning songs, so many innuendos, all that Shakespeare introduced, but they were essentially hits, they are classics. So, essentially all classics are popular. It is not just a few critics liking it. That is what they advised me. That is what I realized. They did not advise. By all their talk, I realized that was one. So, I got into a real mainstream bug. That was the end of the Jamindar Gara Ammai. During the Jamindar Gara Ammai, I had another, it is an interesting thing, though I did not have any success, there were good kind producers who thought I will be able to make them. Probably I was available at a lesser cost, because other directors may be more costly, or by nature I am more free, amenable, I don't pose, I don't show airs, I don't have ego problems. So, all these qualities also make, so I am quite friendly, I am a producer's director, I see everybody's problems. So, they booked me, and that was a film. They came with an idea, I improved on that. That was a film called Okadipam Veligindi. There is not much to say, that except Mr. Jaggaya, Chandrakala Ranganath, and I think Sumitra. So, they were Shubha. They were the main Chandrakala. So, they were the main casting, and the most important is Mr. S. Rajeswar Rao. He was the music director. He takes some beautiful songs. Even today, one song, a prayer song sung by Susila and Janaki, I like it very much. I don't have those records now. Once I asked Janaki Bamma to give me a CD. She has all those collections. She made it into a CD and gave me. I do not know where I lost it. Even that is not there. But Okadipam was released. It was a successful film. There is not much I can tell about Okadipam Veligindi, but it was a successful film. And it was so successful, Mr. Sundarlal Nehata saw the film and he wanted to do it in Malayalam. So, he had a producer, one Saundappa Chettiar. He used to do lot of Malayalam films, and Mr. Sundarlal Nehata used to finance him on some arrangement. Saundappa Chettiar has to take some Malayalam film, and Sundarlal Nehata is behind him, and there is a sort of some sort of an understanding between them. So, he sends Mr. Saundappa Chettiar, said, sir, we want to take Okadipam Veligindi in Malayalam, you yourself direct. Of course, I do not know Malayalam, but you please direct. So, first time I met all Malayalam artists like Sheila, Umar, Shankaradi, all these people, and for my assistant I had one person called Joseph. He was later became a very, very popular famous director. That Joseph was the person who was guiding me, because in Malayalam film I used to take 3 days, 4 days to finish a song. Mr. Joseph came and told me, sir, this is a Malayalam film, you have to finish the song in 1 day. 1 day, how can I possibly, at least it must be 2 days, 3 days. No sir, you have to finish. It is possible sir. He caught me, he told me, sir, which shot sir, which shot, how are you going to take? All the shots he noted. Then in that case, we will finish all these shots first sir, we will good these shots sir. Really I did it, I finished it in 1 day. It is not because of me, I was turned only for 3 days. Joseph was the person, my assistant, who showed me how to do it in 1 day. Very interesting. And morning, first day I went, Mr. Saundappa Chettiar came to my house, picked me up, sir, first day we go, we have our breakfast together, this is my habit, producer, director have their breakfast together and we go to the set. And we had breakfast, and I went there. I asked Joseph, who are the artists available, ready? Because in Telugu and Tamil, I not did any Tamil film, post Tamil film, there were a difference. All artists used to come about 7:30, 8 o'clock, but there are some who used to come at 10 o'clock, 11, 12. We did not know. But at 8:30 when I went there, Joseph told me, all the artists are ready, sir, with makeup and dress. I was stunned. And with makeup and dress. And what about the dialogues? They have all been given dialogues and they all know the dialogues. It was a problem for me, sir, so many artists ready, how can I make the first shot? So I called them, first time I am meeting them, I am Sangeetam Srinivasarao, I did this film, sir, we have heard about you, you are all, they are all stars, they are all top stars, Sheila, Omar, Shankaradi and all the people. And we came, so we arranged all those shots, and it was a delightful working in record number of days, with highest quality. I make that. It was called Nirabarayam Nilavelakkum. That was the only Malayalam film I did. I did not know Malayalam. Joseph used to translate me. Great. Later, after becoming director of some dubbing theatre, he called me, sir, I am Joseph. And one Mr. Vincent, he was the hero. He was a young boy. Later, he acted in my Kadala Kadala. He came with a beard and all that. Sir, do you recognize me? I am the Vincent of your Niraparam Nilavelakkum. All those things have changed. So, first time I Malayalam film, one of the nicest setups there. They are so disciplined and so well qualified. I never found that discipline anywhere. So, very great discipline. And I later 2 or 3 times, Sheila, she was having a lot of very good judgment of some place. Sir, this Malayalam film is very good, this film is good, you can take race. So, later after 4 years, 5 years, I called her and suggested a Malayalam film for a remake. She used to suggest, and I gave it to some producer and they took that Malayalam film. So, in that Nirabarayam Nilavelakkum, I learned from Joseph how we can take a film very economically without losing the quality.